Good evening, Boldest. If you can hear me, please signify by sending me a signal. Drop a message in the chat box so that I know that you can hear me properly. Okay? I want to hear at least one or two persons' comments before I continue. I didn't know I've been speaking all this while and the microphone was mute, so please pardon me for that. Just someone should just give me a signal that you can hear me, okay? All right. Good evening once again. Welcome to another Goldilocks live session. Tonight's theme is very powerful. We are talking money, power, and presence. And we're talking about how we can build financial wellness in our 20s as women because now is actually the time to take action. So if you're on this live session, it means that you're ready to understand money in a way that protects your peace. You're ready to make lifestyle choices that will build you soft security. You're also ready for a mindset shift that will not only lift your future, but it would decrease your fears about money. And this live session is for any woman who wants to make lifestyle choices that gives her ease, any woman who wants to become in control or who wants to feel in control of her money and her life. Any woman who wants more clarity, more confidence, and a life that actually pays you back in peace, in power, and freedom. My name is Martha Ofokansi. You can call me the Beauty and Business Catalyst, BB Catalyst for short. And tonight, I am hosting this powerful conversation with my partner in progress. She has a platform that I'll read her bio shortly, but she has a platform that helps brilliant minds, professionals in the industry take control, have a voice, and gain clarity when it comes to their finances. So, Bodets, as we settle in to prepare for this live session, I want you to open your mind. I want you to be ready. I want you to come fully prepared with your questions. I'm sure that by now you already have your questions rolling for us to answer. We will answer everything, and also your contributions as well, because that is also part of what this platform is all about. So join me in welcoming. Before I welcome her to the stage, let me give you a brief overview about our speaker for tonight's session. This woman has spent years in the industry. When it comes to finance, she is an expert. I can tell you that for sure. Why? Because I have experienced her firsthand. She is no other person than Financial Talk with Victoria, also known as Victoria Ambrose, but her brand name is Financial Talk with Victoria. Now, let's get right into her bio. Let's get to know who this speaker is and why I chose her as the best fit to explain to us about money, because she's also in her 20s. So they say if you want to learn how to make 100 million, you have to learn from someone who has actually made 100 million. Now, if you want to learn how to build a financial stable life in your 20s, you need to learn from someone who has actually gone through that path. We have not arrived at our final destination. We're still growing, we're still building, but she has attained a level of experience and great heights as well. So here it goes. Financial Talk with Victoria is a strategic thinker and a problem solver with a passion for unlocking growth and optimizing financial performance. She is a chartered banker, not only a chartered banker, but also an investment analyst. And she has also worked as a financial advisor. She has a unique blend of expertise in banking, finance, and investment. And through her platform, Financial Talk with Victoria, she empowers young professionals with the knowledge and confidence to make informed financial decisions. You see what I'm talking about? Not only that, she has also empowered young professionals to gain confidence and build financial capacity. With over 7 years of experience in sales, customer service, and financial advisory, Victoria has honed her skills in financial planning, investment analysis, and wealth creation. So she has done all the hard work. She has been through it and back. And as a corporate service and human capital officer, she has managed projects, conducted research and analysis that has driven business growth. It means that she has also helped organizations actually increase their revenue and market share. That's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful performance from our speaker. She has also experienced stakeholder engagement. She also has experience in building strategic relationships, which is part of the things she's going to talk about. Because when it comes to building wealth or trying to create a stable pathway for money to flow, you need to also have great relationships. You need to have established relationship with key people, and that is exactly what Victoria will also be teaching us today. Financial Talk with Victoria has also formed her mission to equip young women like young women like you and me with the tools and knowledge that is needed to take control of your finances. She has been able to build her money to work for her, and she's not working for money. Now, please, I don't want to waste so much of our time. Join me as I welcome our distinguished speaker for today's event. Victoria, are you ready to come on stage? Okay, she's ready. She has signaled me that she's ready. Please join me and welcome Victoria. Woo! Hello,
Hi,
Financial with Victoria. It's so great to have you on this live session. I must say, I didn't add when I was reading your bio that you're so beautiful. Like,
thank you.
so beautiful. You embody what it means to be a bold woman. Thank you for joining us on this live session. We are more than excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. When reading the Bible, blown away. Sure, she's referring to me because that you asked me. I really do appreciate it, and I'm so grateful for what you're doing. You're doing great. The Borderless brand is going global. I must say, and I
Thank
doing for.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's because we have people like you that's what keeps us going. That's what keeps
Ah,
us going.
you flatter me a lot. Thank you as well. Thank you. When I see young women do good, I am proud because that's the aim. We want to change the
Yeah.
trajectory. We want to create a better youth. We want our youth to know that it's not you're not too young and it's not too late. So we
Exactly.
want to move them from drugs to productivity. So we're making it, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So we want to dive right into tonight's session. So, Bodet, before we go deeper, I want you to take a moment to pause and check within you. We've talked about money habits. We've talked about peace. We've talked about power and how you can show up in your 20s. So I want you to reflect on that. And I want you to drop in the chat. What's one thing about after tonight that you're going to be doing? It can be a mindset reset, it can be a habit, it can actually be the way you actually see money. So please put that in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Um yeah, so let's talk about what it means to actually build financial wellness in your 20s. Victoria, you have the floor now.
Okay, thank you so much, Martha. So before I dive into further conversation, I'd like to point out that talking about money is not a crime and it's not something to be ashamed of. Being broke is not something to be ashamed of, but it's something that should spark a consciousness in you to not want to stay broke. They always say that your background is not what you are, meaning that from the worst of it all, you can come out beautiful. And I always encourage whenever I speak to young professionals that You start by identifying the loopholes. Currently, where am I financially? I'll start with that, right? Money, talking about money is not a crime, even though Bible say he wants us to prosper, even if our soul prosperous. So God is interested in our prosperity. So I need us to understand that because money is a mindset thing. We need to focus on the mindset. We need to understand that making money is a good thing. Talking about money is a good thing. It's not a worldly thing. Being wealthy is God's plan for us. It's beautiful. And then, if you are broke, there is nothing to be ashamed of. If you don't have money now, there is absolutely, don't let anybody shame you for not having money. What you should do instead is it should spark a curiosity in you to not stay broke, right? To not stay broke. So talk about money as much as you want. Plan towards it, calculate, brainstorm. Don't be ashamed to say that I don't have up to 500,000 in my bank account. Don't be ashamed. Instead, how then can I correct this deficiency? How then can I have all of it that I'm supposed to have? So when we understand first things first, that money is a good thing, talking about money is a good thing, having money or not having money is a mindset thing. Then we now dive into financial wellness in your 20s, right? So when we talk about finances, what is finances? What is money, right? Money is simply power to exchange. To exchange. Finance is money, study of money, right? Study of money, trading of money. That's what we're talking about. And when we say financial wellness, it means to be financially sound in your 20s. And if you think that you can't be financially sound in your 20s, then this live session is not for you. If you believe that there is something that you cannot do, then this live session is not for you, right? It's for people that understand that there is nothing impossible. Your dreams are valid as far as you can, as far as your eyes can see. When God was speaking to Abraham, he said, as far as your eyes can see. So, as far as your eyes can see, is what you can achieve, right? And some of the things that you should do while trying to build wealth, I'll be going all into it later and answering some many questions, is to first things first, identify what you want in life. What is my financial goal? What are my financial goals? So the goal of somebody that wants to have 3 square meal on the table is different from the goal of someone that wants to buy a house. It's also different from someone that wants to travel the world. So you need to first of all understand what your financial goals are. What are my financial goals for 2026? A new year is coming. What do I aim to achieve? How much richer do I want to be? What is my portfolio going to contain? What is my portfolio going to contain? That's the first step to it. Now, if I sit and say that in 2026, I want to, let's say if I'm starting from a millionaire and I'm in 2026, I want to be 10 millionaire richer. Now you now dive in. How can I be 10 millionaire richer in 2026? How can I be 100 millionaire richer in 2026? How can I be a billion richer in 2026? And it's possible. It's possible, right? I was speaking to someone and I was asking a question and I was like, how did you go from earning 8,000 naira a month to earning over a million naira? How? And then she said the same thing. Know what you want and plan towards what you want. Now, in most of my podcasts on YouTube, I speak about investment savings and then being patient to let your investment grow, right? I speak about all of that. I will start from the very basic. For my young professionals, please save. Please save. Save. No matter how little. save, right? And I said something. I said the goal of somebody that wants to have 3 square meal is different from a person that wants to buy a car or someone that wants to travel the world. So depending on what you want, save with that kind of aggression. Invest with that kind of aggression. You can't save at the same rate of somebody that just wants to have food the next day. If you know what you want for yourself, I have determined that I will never be poor. Never. Till Jesus come, I will never be poor. And that if that is your plan to keep generational wealth, to be the first billionaire in your family, if that is your plan, you can't do that by wishing it. You can't achieve that by wishing it, right? We have to be very intentional about it. So the first thing is to change your mindset about money, understand that money is a good thing. After that, determine what you want. What is financial wellness to you? Determine what you want, what you see financial wellness as. Do I want to travel the world? Do I want to spend time with my family? Do I want to, be able to not do a 9 to 5? Be able to just follow my passion and not compromise. What is that burning desire? Why do you want to be financially free, financially stable, financially independent? Why? What is your why? Now, when you have your why, it pushes you to start taking the necessary step, which is number one, save. Save. Forget what any other person say and save, because this I'm sharing with you changed my life. It moved me. I wish I can show you my before and after picture. You will be shocked because it moved me from save, save.
Okay,
So
so this
that
this leads me to the part where, sorry to cut you short, but this leads me to the part where I want to talk about you and the things I know about you. But I don't think, if you permit me, I want to share it on this live session because I believe it would help a lot of young people understand that anything you put your mind to doing, you can actually do. So, guys, this woman you see on this live session used to be my roommate in university when we were in school. And she was one of the people who motivated me that I would never be poor. I would do whatever it takes to make money. At the time when we were in school, this woman was running hire purchase business in school. Like she would buy bikes, she would buy bikes, a student would buy bikes and give it out to bike men in the university area to use it for hire purchase. I will be in the house every day. They will come to remit money to this woman. This woman. So when we talk about saving or trying to make your money work for you, no be cho. It's actually something that has been tested and proven. This woman here, me, I will be crying, waiting for my parents to send me money to cope and feed. She used to be there. I will be calling my parents, Daddy, hello, send me money. My money is finished. She can testify to that. But I will be watching her. Bike men will be coming on our door and remitting money to her every week. They pass weekly. It was on a weekly basis. And sometimes when we wanted to do things in the house, she didn't need to wait for me because I mean, money woman, she was already financially stable in school. She did not have to wait for her parents to send her money, or she didn't wait for anybody to give her money. She found a way to make sure that her money was working for her. At the time we were graduating from uni, Victoria was already a millionaire. It's not just cho. I said she was my real motivation to making sure that I make it in this life, or I actually make sure that if I learned a lot of things from her. I learned how she knew how to save money. Sometimes in school, I would, spend money on things that were irrelevant. I'm not gonna lie. I was extra with money. She would tell me, babe, you need to save. Oh, you need to save. I didn't understand the dynamics of what she was talking about because I probably not experience anything I wanted. I would call back home, and my parents are not rich, but they were very okay to. So I relied on them. But it was later when we finished school that I understood that, ooh, is this what Victoria was doing when we were in school? And she was always telling me, save, oh, save. She told me that a lot when we were in. But me, I did not. I just felt she was just trying to bully me
You
into,
were very extra. You were
yeah.
very
So I beg, it's okay, it's okay. I've changed. It's okay. I have changed. So yeah, that's what we talk about when it means you need to be disciplined, and you also need to understand that your money needs to work for you by saving, because you cannot invest your money to work for you if you do not have savings. Yeah. So you have the floor now.
Yeah. So thank you, Marta, for sharing that. Even though that was very back then in school, but it's just like I say, when you know what you want for yourself, then you know what you have to do to get it. All right. And then I say you need to save. Very important. You have to save, right? And then you save to invest. In December, I have a lot of people that have been saving up to spend in December. That's, forgive me, but that's, with all due respect, that's not wisdom. If you still have money problems and you are planning to spend your savings this December, with all due respect, you need God. Because you want to be broke for a very long time. You don't want to finally be able to let your money work for you. You want to keep working for money. That's what it means, right? So this December, if you have 500,000 that you want to use to spend this December, take that money and invest. Towards the end of this live session, I'll be sharing some investment platforms that you could do and that you should go into. You heard Martha, she said I was into higher purchase one time in my life. And as a lady, that was tagged to be a men's thing. Like it was just men that did higher purchase. But I was doing higher purchase back then because I've always known what I wanted for myself. And it's now. If you haven't thought about your future, now is the time to sit down and analyze your life. Ask yourself, how long? How long will I keep struggling to make a million naira? How long? How many 9 to 5 do you intend to do? When do you intend to retire? I want to retire at 35. When do you want to retire? Please. I don't intend to work till I'm 65. And if I have a plan to not work till I'm 65, I can't spend money like people that intend to work till they are 65. At 35, at 40, I want to sit on boards of companies. I want to be board chairman and board director. That's what I want. I already know what I want for myself. What do you want for yourself? Start building it. So you invest, and then you invest to save and not to spend. Invest to save to invest and not to spend, please. Sorry about that. Save to invest and not to spend, please. So when you want to invest, I always encourage you buy shares and you buy stock. And then they buy real estate, buy gold, buy commodities, sorry. Buy gold. Buy gold. So in 2 years, gold has appreciated over 100% return. From 2023 to 2025, gold has given over 100% return. So if at 2023 you bought a gold worth 5 million, now your gold is worth 10 million. If you bought gold worth maybe 100,000, your gold is worth 200,000 now. And even more. And even more. It's way more than that. So invest. With as little as 200,000, you will buy it 21 karat gold. 1 kg of a 21 karat gold. And when buying gold, please, 21 karat, please. 21 karat gold. Buy, invest. If you have time in your hands, then you can do commodity trading, right? You could, I always encourage you invest in agriculture. That's the new gold mile. Invest in agriculture. Buy, invest in farming, invest. There are platforms that give you the opportunity to invest. Invest in shares. Companies give you as much as 15% interest on your investment, right? And then if you're in my inner caucus, I have companies that give you up to 35% interest rate on your investment, depending on your risk appetite. So if you're a risk taker, if you are very skeptical when it comes to your money, that determines the kind of investment that you are going to get yourself involved in. So invest in gold, buy shares of company, dividends paying shares. Some persons asked me for the list of companies that pay dividends. I would read out some names towards the end of companies that you can buy shares and they pay dividends as well. I'll read out names much later. Buy shares, invest, real estate, right? And then be patient to let your income grow. Be patient to let your investment grow. So there was a period in my life where I couldn't buy shares. So I could buy a share of a 1 million naira, and when I get a bit financially tight, I sell. Forgive me, but I just sell them, right? Because I just sell them. Bamboo makes it very easy. Like Bamboo, Afrivex, these apps make it easy to buy and sell. So I just sell my shares, and I just want the money. I just need to do all the thing. So if you are that kind of person that when you put your money in Piggyvest or you put it in Afrivest or Bamboo or any of these financial apps, you are quick to sell, then you know that those kind of investment is not for you. If you're intentional about growing, those kind of investment is not for you. Do real estate instead. Go into real estate, right? Buy properties, buy lands. Do that instead. And then there are things that I always advise people. I said there will always be somebody that looks much wealthier than you do. There will be somebody that looks richer than you do. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people. Over 200 million. And 70% of that population are young individuals. You have to run a personal race. A personal race. Am I doing the right thing? Then keep to it. You don't need anybody to validate you. You don't need anybody to validate you. Am I doing the right thing? If yes, keep to it. Keep doing it. Nobody needs to tell you, oh, you're doing great. No, you don't need that. Especially when it comes to financial decisions. Because your own financial decisions could be somebody else's. Why are you doing that? Right? Earlier in my career, when I joined the corporate organizations full time, I intentionally didn't, I always bring lunch from home. So instead of spending 10, 15K every day buying lunch, I make my lunch from the house. Maybe I spend 30, 40K for the week to cook. And for 4 days, 5 days, I eat very good meal. Back then Nigeria wasn't even this bad. So like with 30K, I've cooked one nice stew and soup. And then when I want to come to work, I just bring my food. And then everybody's like, and some persons are like, why don't you ever buy food? And I'm like, my ways and yours are completely different. So I won't do what you do because they're completely different. I know what I want. I know what I want. I know where I'm coming from. I know what my financial goals are. You can't join the race. Someone is going 100 miles and you're going 200 and you are running at their pace. When are you going to get to your destination? When? Someone else is running a race, is going 100 miles and you're going 200 miles and you're running at their pace. You're not going to get to your destination anytime soon. So when you know your distance, you know what to do to cover that distance. You know what to do to cover the distance. You have to excuse me, please. I need to take some water. Yeah, so I said invest, save to invest, not to spend. Invest and be patient enough to let your income grows. Be very to and be patient enough to let your income grow. Be very intentional about what your risk appetites are. What are your risk appetites? And invest in real estate. Invest in real estate. I think the first landed property I got was 1.5. It was that little, 1.5. So you don't have to buy a property of 10 million. You can buy a 200 square meter, 1.5 million, and just buy it to resell. It's not going to be worth the same in 5 years. And then if you don't know how to invest in real estate, that's a subject for another day, to identify properties that have potentials. So you just buy properties that have potential to make you more money. So invest in real estate. Invest. No matter how small, invest. If you have a brother or a friend that is into higher purchase, reach out. Collaboration is very important. I have £1 million. Can I invest it in your business? Sign contract. Get your lawyer involved. Sign it. Sign it. You shall profit at the end of the month. If you have somebody that is into agriculture, I have 5 million. I want to invest in your farm. Sign. What is your income rate? When you see somebody that is doing well, collaborate with them. Don't try to do everything alone. Collaborate. Like, me, I have this. I want to invest in this. Make money from it, right? So be very intentional. Don't spend your money this December in doing dirty December. I always tell the people that I coach, I say, give yourself 3 years. Delay the gratification in 3 years. Today, if I want to buy, 20 chickens, I can. But I didn't start by buying. I started by investing. So don't consume every single thing. Um, One of my mentor that wrote the book Psychology of Money, he said that a naira save, he actually used a dollar save. So I'm gonna use a naira saved is a portion of your future that you are buying back. So just think of it. This 5,000 is buying 5,000 of my future. This 10,000 is buying 10,000 of my future. So think of it, just a portion saved is buying a portion back of your future.
I'm going to have to write that down because they say your memory retains information when you write. So I have to write that down, and I encourage anybody watching to write down. Please repeat again so that those at the back will hear.
A naira save is buying back a naira of your future. So a naira saved is buying back a naira of your future. Just think about it. If I'm putting away 100,000 in investment, I am buying 100,000 of my future. So it means I'm giving my future 100,000 naira more to spend.
In case people will think I'm joking, I wrote that down in my notepad because every time I pick up this notepad and I'm reading through it, the
Yeah.
reminder is there. For every time I save money, I know that yes, my money is going to come back to me. And this leads me to talking about building a lifestyle, right? That sustains you. Lifestyle choices. It's part of the things that we want to talk about. So I'm just going to chip in one point and then I'll hand over the mic back to our speaker. So let's talk about lifestyle choices that actually builds and compounds over time. What are those things that you need to do, especially with your finances? Let's look at, for instance, I'm trying to develop a framework that works for me, right? It's part of the essence why I'm building Bodylocks. Now, I want to create that framework and test it with my life. So I'm kind of like the lab rat. Yeah. And then when that is successful, I will release it to end users to start testing. Now, what is this lifestyle framework that I am building? First of all, sustainability is what we're going to call it. Sustainability in the sense that I want to make sure that for every time I spend money, my money is definitely giving me a return on investment. There should be an ROI, right? And what is that ROI in terms of the lifestyle that I am living? It means that if I want to make my hair or get my hair done, I want to visit the salon. Where is that money coming from? That's the first thing I'm going to ask myself. Where's this money for this hair coming from? And then when I'm able to sort that out, okay, so what kind of hairstyle am I going to make? Because it has to be durable. Then when that is established, I what extension or what do I need to do to get that hair done? So what are the things I need to put in place? How do I get my money back also from those things? I calculate all of the things. So you see, one of the things I learned from my mother is that she was very calculative anytime in Naira. It's not because she's trying to be stingy or anything. She always wants to make sure that some way, somehow, that money is going to come back to her. So I learned that when I need to make my hair, I don't have to change my hair every week, right? At this stage that I've gotten to, it means that I need to carry my hair for at least 3 weeks. So I'm definitely going to look for a hairstyle that will last me 3 weeks. Because let's be factual, we don't have that luxury of visiting the salon every week as well. And then when I have that established, what's the next thing I'm going to do? The hair extension. I need to make um choices with a budget. That's where budgeting now comes in. So, what are these choices I'm going to make? Which one is more affordable and will also be durable? I look out for those things. And when I'm able to do these small, small things that I'm putting in place, if you know how much money it will save you or it is saving me, then you understand why I talk about sustainability, getting ROI for every naira that you spend. And that's why I love this quote by our very beautiful speaker. A naira saved is buying back a naira of your future. So that's where it comes in. When I want to shop clothes, it's the same thing. What kind of clothes am I going for? I'm not going for designers. I'm not going for highly expensive money that I know that when I pay for it, I can't buy it, next time. It means I don't have the money for it. So where my pockets reach, that's exactly what I need to look out for. And then when I have that established, okay, I ensure that it is of good quality. You see, just because it is cheap does not mean that it is of low quality. Yeah, you get a lot of good quality clothes that you don't even need to spend a fortune on, but they are so durable. And I also do that. So I know that from this time to this time, I'm not spending money on what I wear. I already have what to wear because I have invested my money in quality clothes that I can wear for a certain period of time before I think of even changing my wardrobe. I'll always look outstanding because quality does not mean it has to be expensive. And I'm not saying that you should, just because they're selling it 2K, you should go and buy it and you're saying it's of low quality because it's 2K. No, you need to, use your discretion. So all of these small, small steps I have put in place are saving me a lot of time, a lot of money wasting, and I'm able to put my money in the right places and not every 2 weeks I'm going to make my hair. If I need to buy a wig, then I save money towards it. I know that okay, from this time to this time, because time is actually money, from this time to this time, I will not visit the salon. I would save a certain amount of money from visiting the salon. Because let's face the fact, it is expensive to be a woman, especially for women who want to look good, who want to feel good, who want to also, keep themselves in a certain standard. Yeah, that's part of the lifestyle choices I'm talking about. So we will revisit another point from this session. But right now, let's give it back to our speaker. Financial talk with Victoria.
Thank you so much, Mark. You said a lot of things that a lot of young people need to hear, and you don't need to break the bank to look good.
Exactly. I would say that any day, anytime. I have one very nice, even though I'm not a fan of designers, but there's one that I got. People will say it's fake, but I don't really care. It's durable. I have been using it for a very long time. Every time I step out with that bag, everybody's always looking. And me, I only me know how much I got it for. I'm not going to say that here. Anything people want to say, that's you business. But I know when I step out, when I come out, I am presentable. You cannot see me and you will not talk to me. It's not possible. If I say hello, good afternoon, excuse me, you will talk to me because come on, the presence is already there. So that's the part of the things that we're preaching. Okay, so over to you, my darling.
Okay, so when we talk about financial wellness and you know habits, right, lifestyle choices that builds financial wellness, I'll just read out some notes that I've written down here, some habits. So I always encourage young professionals to live slightly below your means. Just learn it. A lot of people exhaust their monthly payment, or if they're students, they are stipends from home, they exhaust it and even borrow. You are never going to be financially free that way. Never. Never going to be financially free that way. So once you keep exhausting every of your income and even borrowing more, you're not going anywhere. So live slightly below your income. I have said it before, invest in yourself as well as a young professional. So always make sure that whatever you're doing has double effect. You're investing in your future, you're in your finance. Save consistently, right? I always encourage you automate your savings and don't leave your savings open. So automate your savings, get a standing order in the bank, or get a standing order in the bank, or get another account and get your salary splitted into those accounts, or you put in a standing order in the bank to pay a certain amount to a different account. I encourage 30%. Currently, I save over 50% of my income because my journey is still very far. So I save over 50% of my income. And if you started from the very beginning of this live section, you will understand when I say my journey is still very far. So everybody have their own journey, right? Everybody have what their financial plans are. And I know my financial plans, and I'm still far away from it. I'm heading there, but still far away from it. So automate your savings, save a minimum of 30% if you're following me and you don't have over 20 million naira in your account and you are more than 22. If you're more than 22, you don't have over 20 million in your account, then on your portfolio, right? Then save at least 30% of your income. So at the time that you are in time, you should have over 30 million euros. Save at least 30% of your income. Avoid debt. Avoid it. Don't delete your loan apps. Delete them. Eradicate them from your phone. Avoid debt. Avoid debt. It's a short way to backwardness. It's so quick, it's so fast. Invest wisely. Told you about investing in real estate, gold, shares, stock, partner in people's business with due documentation. Partner with due documentation. Don't give your money out without getting a lawyer and getting it properly signed. So partner with your friends, with business that is productive, right? Invest in agriculture, avoid overspending, avoid it. And then, please, if you've never done this, do it today. That's your assignment, please, guys. It's your assignment for today. Take a pen from November 1st till now. Open your app and check where all your expenses are going to. Check, please. I did this. It would help you know what to cut down on. If you should cut down on fashion, no, with all due respect to my fashion queen here, Mata, if you should cut down on fashion, if you should cut down on transportation, if you should cut down on food, if you should cut down on gifts. Because some of you, you're working for 500 people at the same. So make a list of the money is going to, so you know where to cut down, what places to cut down. Make a list. From the 1st of November to now, what have I been spending my money on? And then from that, you cut down. And I always encourage, when you cut down, whatever amount you're cutting down should be invested, not to be channeled. No. So if I'm taking 10 naira from my feeding, I'm not taking it to add it to my clothes. I'm taking it to add it to my. If I'm cutting down 5 naira on transportation, I'm taking that 5 naira to add it to my investment, not to add it to an expenditure. So please take a pen, calculate, track your expenses. Always have an emergency fund. Right? Always have an emergency fund. Your mother can be your
That's
emergency fund.
very important.
Very
Very,
important.
very, very important. Now, let me tell you guys a very short, very, very short story. Short story.
Okay.
Um, when I started building my career, I told myself that for I want to spread. I'm not someone that likes to be boxed in. So, long story short, I like to spread my wings, and I planned already that my career with a particular industry will start from a particular time and end at a particular time, right? So that I can move to the next. Because another way to grow your income as a corporate girl is that you need to have experience, multiple experience across industries and sectors. So you need to always move. That's just the best way to do it. And I had already taken that step. So prior to moving into a new sector, I had to wait 1 month, right, before I resumed. Guys, I stopped receiving salary now because when the money comes, you spread, 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 and hold on to something. For 1 month like this, my savings was just what was saving me. The emergency, that was what was saving. I didn't have money. I was like, wow. So this is what it means not to have something coming into your life. I'm like, okay, this is nice. So that's to also add to what you said about um making your money work and having an emergency fund. I think that's very, very important. And a lot of us neglect that a lot. And I think we need to, look into it and do better. So she also talked about delaying gratification. It's something that ever since I started doing it, honestly, my lifestyle has actually changed. You see, I used to go to work with Uber. I'm putting this out here because I want to encourage you. When you think that you can't do the difficult things, can't do hard things at a particular time, I've gotten to a certain state in my finance that I can afford to use Uber to work. But then when I needed to move to a new industry, I needed to save more money. I said, how will I do this? Because I have things I need to use money for. How do I do this? Where do I need to cut from? That's why she's always talking about cutting down your expenses and channeling it somewhere. That was exactly what I wanted to do. So what needs to come down so that these other parts can go up? I looked at it, I saw that the money I'm spending on Uber, I continue like that, I will probably not be able to go to work one day. And that was how I said, okay, you know what? Let's cut down on Uber. And I limited the number of times that I use Uber to work. And sometimes I found a way because me, I will not lie, downfall and these things, they are not. I just found a way to, get someone that lives around my area that I can always go to work with that has a private car, and to make things easy for me. So I've been able to cut down that Uber money. Do you know how much they are charging in this Lekki traffic? Eh? By the time you enter and reach work, your money will be reading 25 to 30K. So is that what I want to be doing every day? And I said I want to build a company. So where is money going to come from? So
It's
that's
even
part of the things that we are talking about.
it would have been a reckless thing to do to spend 25K in 5 days.
My
Just
dear,
if that
uh,
means you're spending by 100,000.
my dear, So I
Ah,
just calculate all those things. I said, since I haven't gotten to the stage where, I want to get a car or anything, so why don't I just delay this thing for a particular period of time and get it later? Because I would definitely get it. And honestly, when I look at the fact that I've cut down on that, I'm enjoying it. I am really, really enjoying it.
and I will also encourage Martha that you take 50% of that and put in an investment. So even as you're building a brand, put that in an investment. It would go a long way. It would go a long way. And if you hadn't had an emergency fund at the time you were trying to transition into a different industry, it would have been a disaster if you haven't had an emergency fund. I think your network is a bit bad. I can't hear you on the live and you are not moving. So I think you should fix that matter and join us back. So I continue with the have an emergency fund and then habits to avoid, right? And what to improve on. Have an emergency fund. Don't don't get into high interest debt, right? Be very certain that you are not in any high interest debt. So if you must fund anything with debt, make sure that it's not a high interest debt and that the interest can be covered with the profits, right? I always encourage that when you're financing, it should be for a project or something that could generate you more money. So yes, you can finance with debt, but let it be a money generating debt. And plan for retirement. If you're 25, you might start to think retirement is till 35 or is till 65. Why do I have to plan for retirement? But it's important because if you don't plan for your retirement now, it will be very painful when you have to retire. So, plan for your retirement, plan for it, plan for your retirement, calculate towards it, and then mindset shifts, right? If we can go into that, I am waiting for Matter. Okay, Martha, please join us back. Okay, so we'll go into mindset shift, letting your money work for you. So there are ways in which your money can work for you. Making passive income is one of the ways in which your money can work for you. So you live a more comfortable life when you know that your money is working for you, right? Make passive income, focus on wealth creation. Don't leave your money in the bank, guys. Invest it. Buy shares. At the least, buy a shares. Download an AfriVest app or a Bamboo app and buy shares. Buy real estate if you can afford to. Buy real estate. Be patient, be intentional about wealth creation. Be intentional about your financial choices. So earlier in my career, my colleague, even till now, my colleague knows that if I haven't planned for it and I'm not gonna do it, even though I have the money to do it. If it wasn't planned for, if it wasn't budgeted, I won't do it. I won't do it. So you try your best to minimize, impulse buying, impulse spending, except it's something like with in 10K, 5K. That one, what that won't have any impact in your finances. So something that will not have any impact in your finances, you can go ahead and then do it. But if it would have a significant impact in your finances, don't do it. Plan for it. Always plan, budget. Budget your income. Budget what you intend to spend in this December. Budget. Budget, guys. Be patient, be intentional. Stay informed. Stay informed. MTN shares is doing very well right now in the market. MTN is doing very, very well. So please stay informed, guys. Let's stay informed. Shares that are doing very well in the market. Let's stay informed. I'm trying to pull out my notes for other shares that I had written down to share with you all that are doing very well in the market as well. So please let's stay informed. And then list of shares that you could buy that are doing very well and pay dividends. So UBA is doing very well as well in the stock market. Fidelity Bank as well. Guaranteed Trust Holding Company is doing well. Zenith Bank is doing well, and they pay dividends, very high dividends as well. They pay dividends, so you're earning in two ways. You're earning in capital gains, and you're earning in dividends as well. So this, if you don't know what a capital gain is, if you don't know what a capital gain is or what dividends is, go to my YouTube and watch my videos on dividends, capital gains. Seplan Energy as well, Wema Bank, Nigerian Aviation Holding Company. They are doing very well. I would send the list to BB Catalyst to share on her platforms so we all can tap into this and buy shares. So buy shares. These shares are doing very well in the market. Let's buy shares, and it would be lovely to have her back if possible. It would be really lovely to have her. We've been here for an hour, guys. Thank you for being here. I will take some questions. I have some questions here. I have some questions I'm going to take. Okay, it says talk about dividends and investment. I have talked about dividends and investment. I think that came before the question. So I've spoken about dividends, investment, capital gains. I've listed some shares to buy that actually pay dividends. So please go back to the video and watch. I'll send the list to Martha to also share to her platform list of shares to buy. Capital gain dividends. I have a video on YouTube as well that explains dividends and capital gain, what it means, and how you can identify companies that pay dividends quarterly. So I have that there. Talk about real estate. I've spoken about real estate. Please don't invest in anything that you don't have knowledge about. Before you invest, get knowledge. Be informed. Be informed before you invest. Be informed. Don't invest in anything that you don't have knowledge about. Invest in real estate, guys. If you have up to £1 million, put it in real estate. Matter, I have spoken about mindset shifts. Welcome back. We missed you for a bit. And now we can hear you. So I think your mic is off again. So please.
Oh, my
Mm,
bad, my bad. Thank you. That was a wonderful break in transmission, but we're
we're
back.
back.
We're back. Yeah, we're back.
We spoke about
Okay,
mindset.
so mindset shifts. Yeah.
We have done that
Okay,
already.
so we're also supposed to cover. Just give me one moment, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to actually share my screen, but so I'm just going to run through with what we have discussed so far. We've talked about a lot of things. You know that the theme for this session is money, power, and presence because money actually gives you leverage and access to power. And we're not just talking about, power as in power struggle in that form. We're talking about having choices, having the freedom to actually do a certain thing that you love or to actually do something that would actually make an impact in your life and in the society. So that's where power comes in. When you have power, you have leverage, right? And money also gives you that access. And then we are talking about presence. Of course, you cannot have money if you don't embody, you know, the lifestyle and habits of someone who has it already. So it comes with your mind, it starts with your mindset. And for your presence to actually matter in the society, it means that you need to have passed through certain stages in life that actually involves money. Yeah. So your presence can be as influential as anything. You can, with your presence, you can open doors for other people, right? Because when you actually do the things that matter, people would see it and would definitely resonate with it. So it starts with the kind of lifestyle that you're building, right? How do you do all of these things? Money is the key point in all of these things that we're talking about. So yeah, if you want a lifestyle that pays you back, you need to invest in your finances because that's the only way. You need to know where your money is going, you need to be fully aware of it. You need to also understand where to put your money because at the end of the day, what do we want to achieve? We want our money to work for us. We don't want to keep working. I've told myself that at 40, I want to retire. And you heard our speaker say the same thing that at 35, her goal is even closer. 35, I'm aiming for 40, but someone is aiming for 35. You can now understand what it means that when you set your mind to do something, there's always someone that will actually want to, that would already be doing more than you are doing. So it means that there is no level you cannot attain as long as you're fixing your mindset. You already have a structured mindset, and then you now create systems that would help you achieve those goals. Because if you do not have systems in place, you will fumble, you will fail, right? So that is why we are doing this sessions to help other young women open up their minds to a lot of information because knowledge is power. What you don't know, you don't know. 5 years ago, I was introduced to the money market. That was when I started doing saving in mutual funds. And I was enjoying it because I saw every day I wake up, I check because I want to know is it, it's too good to be true. I check, I'm already seeing my interest. And interest, I'm telling you, is 1,000 naira every day. There was a time I accumulated a profit of I think almost 150K
Wow.
just for doing nothing. My money is just sitting somewhere, but it's multiplying. I was so happy. I spent that profit. I'm not gonna lie, I was extravagant with it because it felt too good to be true. And then I now understood that oh, if this thing can happen like this, and I can discipline myself enough to, pull out this amount of money to just spend anyhow, then I can do much more. So I had to discipline myself and structure my mindset that okay, let's make this work. And in 5 years, I can tell you that I've seen great changes. Not to
Mm,
brag, but I've seen great changes. I started working even before I got into the university. So I'd already known the art of saving, but I didn't know then when PiggyVest came out new, I was among the first users. I didn't understand what I was doing, but because I was hungry for more, I always look for information everywhere. I found PiggyVest and I started using it, and bit by bit, I was growing my finances. I'm still growing it because I want to be a billionaire or a trillionaire if that even exists. And I can only achieve that when I make my money the right way and push it to the right channels. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I'm sure that we're about wrapping up this session. I'm sure that if you listen closely, you must have heard a lot of a lot of things that you can apply in your life. You must have heard our speaker talk about delaying your right. It is really important that you delay your gratification. See me, from using Uber to work every day, I now even move to where I'm seeing, much more than, but I still had to slash it down. Not that I don't love comfort. I mean, that's even why I started using Uber to work in the first place. I want that soft life that we are all looking for. I want it.
I
I've
know
experienced it, guy. It's sweet.
soft life right now. Soft life right now. You shouldn't even be looking for soft life right now. Suffer
Exactly.
now.
But no, I'm saying that I've given myself that experience and I've
Yeah.
seen what I can do when I do the right thing and work smartly. I said, okay, let's cut down on this. That's why I cut down on it. And let's channel the money elsewhere. So I'm very sure that this live session was really interesting for you. I really would love to hear your feedback. You can put in the comments your how you're feeling about this evening. If you had value, if you were able to draw value from this session, please give us feedback. Let's know that what we are doing is actually making sense. So if it's not making sense, so I will go back and work on it and come back and give you the best, because we can only get better from here. But I'm sure you heard a lot of things. I've shared a couple of my personal stories. I've also talked about how Toria had higher purchase in uni. I was also talking about it. I've talked about how she inspired me. That's why another thing I would say to you listening and watching is that you should surround yourself with people who would inspire you. Don't compete with anybody. Just be you, and then find people who would motivate you to actually do better. Me, my mind used to be in the I just want to enjoy life, right? Because money they enter my hand now. But when I started to now think differently about what I really want and how I can actually get what I want, I saw that this thing will not work like this. So we have to be wise. We have to actually think smart. So I embraced my new reality. It's not been easy. I mean, when I think about it, I say,
Okay.
we die here. We're not going anywhere. We'll just keep going, because when we keep going, that's the we get the desired result that we're looking for. If I continue like that, but I know that in the next 5 years, guys, I said I'm going to buy a G wagon and I will buy it. But I'm giving my years, 5 years to get that. Every day I my life. Another tip I want to leave for you this evening. This tip, oh my god, just when you manifest your imagination, right? When you manifest them, when you speak life into them, when you pray and involve God about it, and then you now take the necessary steps to actually achieve those goals, I promise you, you would achieve them. When I started building this journey of being a beauty and business catalyst, or when I started actually doing corporate work, I asked myself, what's my goal? What's the plan? How do I want my life to look like? And I said, okay, I already know what I want. I wrote them down and I started taking necessary steps. I didn't wait till I came out of school before I got a job. I mean, Tori has already inspired me. She's making money in school. So what do I need to do to actually get to the next step? And then I started. So you just need to think about what you want and start. It will not be perfect when you start, it will never be. But when you keep going and you are surrounding yourself with the right people, who you can talk to, who you can ask questions about anything, who know more than you do, I believe you would learn a lot from it and you will grow strongly. So, not to keep us for so long, because we want to end this session right here and right now. If you have any question that you want to ask, please drop them in the chat box. We will be taking questions, contributions, and yeah, let me hear your thoughts. We have 5 minutes to do that. Victoria, so let's chat about the session and how it was for you while we're waiting for them to drop their question. What do you think about this live session? Because this is our very first. And as my partner in progress, we need to evaluate it even on this live session. So that way, they will also tell us if they enjoyed the live session, if they got value from it, and if they want us to do this again. Because I look forward to the next edition. I enjoyed myself this afternoon, maybe this evening. And honestly, I can't wait for more because I learned a lot of things, on here, which I will be executing on. It's not by coming on live session, listening to talk. They give you all the advice. If you don't take action, I'm sorry for you. Nothing for you. Nothing. You need to take action. And it's only when you take action that you get your desired results. Okay? So how's it for you?
Okay, so Matter, before I answer that, I'll also like to stress on the fact that young people should not look for comfort. Be very uncomfortable now. There will be time to be comfortable. Become uncomfortable now so you can be comfortable in your 30s and in your 40s. Be as uncomfortable as possible. There was a time in my career I was juggling two physical jobs. Physical.
Hmm.
Up from 6 a.m. that closes all the way at 10. I had another one that started at 8 a.m. and closes at 5. So I will go to the job at 6 a.m., report there, check in, do my first evaluation at the office, and then report at the second job that starts at 8 a.m., check in, do what I need to do, leave at 3, and then go to the job that closes at 10 p.m., stay at 3 to 10 p.m., and the next morning I
Can
wake.
you imagine
So be as
the
uncomfortable.
hustle?
Be as uncomfortable as you can now. So I don't do that anymore, right? But there was a time I did. There was a time I was doing higher purchase. You rightly said, I was into the higher purchase business, and we were doing the thing heads to heads with this. Sometimes on they were not educated. Some of them weren't educated, as highly educated as we were, and we had to relate with these people. And I was a female. I was not a male. I was a lady, and I had to work with.
Exactly.
It was uncomfortable waking up 6 a.m. in the morning or 5 sometimes to get ready for my job. 4 sometimes. I was happy being uncomfortable because I could see what I was
In
aspiring
progress.
to see it. Right now, I can see what my 10 years will look like. And so I'm willing to pay the price now for it. So be very,
Oh, delayed gratification. Oh, I beg. That's the new word for the day.
let no
Delayed gratification.
let nobody
There is nothing
shame you, or
that will pay you more than that.
don't let anybody mock you for trying to be disciplined. Don't let anybody mock you for making the right choice. Like I said at the beginning of this live session, everybody have different journeys. You have different paths. You're going 10 steps. I'm going 1,000. You don't expect me to use your principles and your system. So use what works for you and be bold to say, I'm not buying this now, not because I don't have the money, but because I need it. I can't. I don't want to. It's not where I'm
Exactly.
going. I'm not gonna do this. So yes, Martha, I'm so happy that you took a turn and started the public transport. It must have been very difficult and hard after enjoying that kind of luxury for a while. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah. I know, right? I know, right?
yeah,
But yeah,
you know what?
at
You know
least
what
I've been
motivated
able to also, because I did that, I've been able to also get a solution that would ease my stress a little bit. I'm now following a couple of colleagues to work, and they drop me off just right in front of my office, and I walk in. So everything about life is strategy. You need to be
is
strategic. If you are not
so you got
strategic, I'm sorry for you, nothing for you. Everything na sense. You just got to position yourself well. That's why we talk about presence, right? Because I mean, as a fine babe that I am too, right? It's still somehow for my personality to be jumping down for. So I said, okay, if as I cannot, it's so uncomfortable. What's the next line of action? What do I need to do? I need to be on the lookout for someone that goes my way, and I joined the person, and my life is so easy now.
Martha,
You get?
what would be do you know what would
Eh?
be even more uncomfortable? Do you know what will be more uncomfortable? Is when you're 35 jumping that full.
Exactly. So I rather just, take pains, and it was
Let me
because I
now.
took that step. Because I took that step, that's why I was able to locate someone that I don't need to pay you for your fuel. You have your car, I'm joining you, seem comfortable going to work. My life is
Easy.
up already. You get, I don't have to spend money again on transport. Well, if I did not think that way, I'll probably still say, okay, let's still be using that Uber and be going like that, because I've started it so that way. But then who is enjoying it now? Me.
And I encourage
So
young people
yeah,
sometimes don't sometimes don't even test the comfort, because when you test the comfort and you withdraw, you
yeah,
start to think that you are suffering. So sometimes don't test it. So there are things
exactly,
that I want to
exactly.
do, and I won't do it. Right? I wanted to move to a much expensive building that would run into several millions. I could afford it, but then I told myself that this money could be invested. I could slash into, take a smaller apartment that will still do what I need, and invest the rest. So most of these things, why am I doing this? Because I know that in the future, I don't want to have to start to think of how to pay my rent, or I
Exactly.
want to buy my 20s by the grace
Exactly.
of
That should
God.
be the
I
goal.
want, I need to invest more. I need to live as minimal as possible so I can get more to invest, right? And then to grow
More
well. So I always
less
encourage my
for more.
that's your transportation,
Less for
that's your
more.
boat money. Invest it, matter. That's your boat
Yes, so
money.
it's well invested. They carry me play.
Invest
They
it. Buy
carry me
shares,
play.
I trust you. Buy gold because you're a fashion queen. So I want to see
Yes,
all those gold.
so
Yeah. So for the live session, before the live session started, I told God that I just wanted 5 people to be blessed. I said just 5 people and I'm good. If
and we got
five
above five.
if 5 persons can just turn their life around, so if I have over 1 million persons listening to me on different platforms, because we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Facebook. So if we have millions of persons listen to us across several platforms, and I have just 5% that can take these tips that I have and you have given out, and can implement these tips and turn their financial lives around, I am more than grateful to God, and I am excited and
And
happy that I
that's that's
yeah
basically the end goal of this live session, for us to help one person. My goal was just one person, actually. I said if one person can
bye.
just listen to what I have to say and believe that it will work for her or for him, then we are good to go. We are good to go. Baby steps, they say.
Yeah, so I'm so happy that we did this. It's been
Yeah, I look
days.
forward to the next. I'm pretty much excited about it. In fact, I don't even want it
Yeah,
to end because we're hearing you speak, so much value dishing out. I'm like, at least I'm blessing my community. I know I'm doing the Lord's work. Yeah. I wanted to say yes, preach, preacher. So yeah, I'm so happy about it. And yeah, from the feedback that we would get, I think we should be doing the next edition sometime, at least in the second quarter of the year or in the first quarter of the year. Let's help them structure um yeah their year, their budget, where they want their money to go, give them a clear framework that would actually help at least set actionable steps for everyone to follow. And when we get the desired result, we all come back to testify, because I mean, we are preaching the gospel of financial stability. So we got to keep the ball rolling. It was really exciting. It was amazing. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I couldn't be more happier. So I look forward to the next session. And to my lovely Bodets, This would be an official sign out. I want you to open your mind. Like I said, let your heart be ready. And I know that you've heard us clearly. So I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I hope that you take all of these things into action. Okay? So now go be beautiful, as I always say. Stay powerful and be blessed. It's a wrap. Bye.